Back week one. We're gonna break it down for you.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
But I think we dive into week 0, even though it was kind of exciting. What'd you think of week 0?
I'm gonna be honest, Drake. The only thing I really caught was just the last couple seconds of the Iowa State game when they went for it on
Yeah,
that fourth down and ended up winning. And then I caught like the end of the Stanford Hawaii game, which was actually for
that one
being kind
ran
of
pretty.
like
Yeah,
for being a gross football game was pretty fun to watch, actually.
yeah.
So,
So I'll run through them right here. We had Iowa State versus Kansas State. Iowa State won by 3.
yep,
Um, the over under for that game was 51.5, I believe.
yeah,
And it was called back at the last second on it was ruled a touchdown and then was brought back, and then they were able
yeah.
to just kneel it out from there. So
Hallelujah.
save the under in my parlay, but my parlay was butchered, I believe, by the Fresno Kansas State game. Thank you,
Gotcha.
Robbie. All right,
Yeah.
UNLV 38 versus Idaho State 31. I like these games because they kind of, when you're playing an FCS team, I like these games because it kind of reminds me of March Madness. That's where you're playing like a 2 versus 15. So there is like, Iowa got knocked off a few years, not a few years, we're dating myself now, but a while back they got knocked off by an FCS team. So it's fun seeing that happen. Well, we
Yep.
could see that this weekend. I'm sure there's some more that will be running up. Real quick, Kansas versus Fresno State. Kansas won 31-7.
Yeah.
Jalen
Kind of pulled
Daniels for Kansas went 18 for 20 with 3 touchdowns. So
I said it last week, LaShawn Williams. He found himself in the end zone. I saw that. He had a pretty decent game. So
no, it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know. Week 0 game. It's hard to say that that's
yeah.
any data to say that Kansas is going to be really good this year, but hot start. Western
Good.
Kentucky 41 versus Sam Houston 24. Another air raid from their QB. Kind of a beat down there. And then lastly, the one that you mentioned. This one has a really fun fact. Hawaii versus Stanford, won by 3. Their kicker, 29-year-old from Japan, learned how to kick via YouTube.
Learn fucking English.
And then found himself in the States via, I think, a D3 program, worked his way up all the way back to Hawaii. So good on the 29-year-old for icing the game.
Gosh. I mean, it's becoming more and more like professional football. I feel like eventually we're just gonna let however old you are just try
Yeah,
out
I
for the
mean,
team.
you kind of see that in college basketball. I feel like you get
Yeah.
the Slavs and
Learn fucking English.
the Serbs coming over. If they're going to get paid,
Yeah.
especially
If they
playing a
got
sport,
eligibility.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be different just because football isn't as widespread.
Widespread Panic is a really, really cool band.
But in the kicking game, you obviously see it down under and
This is a knife.
That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
all over the place in terms of, they know how to kick a ball worldwide. So before we go to the Iowa game, Thursday, Boise State versus South Florida. I got no take there. Boise State is ranked. And then we got Illinois versus Western Illinois on Friday. So go Bulldogs or whatever Western Illinois is, I guess. But should be some barn burners. But then
Yeah.
10 a.m. Mountain Time. So, that's what your dad says when he's driving up in the mountains, Mountain Time. But,
Yes, sir.
11 a.m. Central, we got one of the biggest matchups of the year, wouldn't you say, with Ohio State versus Texas?
I would say so. And Ohio State just can't seem to get away from that big noon kickoff as much as they
Yeah.
would love to play at night. But yeah, that's an awesome game right out of the gate. You got two really, you got one quarterback in Texas, Arch Manning, that has some significant playing time to a certain extent, but also like hasn't started that many games.
Yeah.
And then you got like a brand new fresh guy at Ohio State. The lines are still leaning Ohio State. I I don't know. I feel like everyone's taking Ohio State just because of the momentum they have, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what you think. I'm kind of leaning Texas. I think they they have a more experienced quarterback at this point, at this early in the year. Maybe towards the end of the year, Ohio State figures it out a little bit more, but I'm kind of the opinion that Texas will pull this one out.
I, you know, I would have gone Texas if they were at home.
Yeah.
Used to live in Austin, Texas. I date an Ohio State individual, so it's hard to say who I'm really rooting for in this game.
Yeah.
But I think Ohio State's going to squeak this one out just because they're at home. I think there'll probably be
Fair.
so much hype. I think they have a really good home field advantage. But it's going to be a barn burner. I mean, what's the line? What's the line right now?
I got it at 2.5 Ohio State right now.
Two and a half Ohio State. So that's not like home field advantage is technically 3, right?
Yeah, so really they're saying it's a total toss up.
We
Yeah.
got a barn burner again.
Yeah, and they won't let Dave Portnoy into the stadium. So
There you go.
maybe that's an advantage as well.
I like it. I'm always down for excluding Dave Portnoy. So,
Yeah.
what? Okay, so Iowa. What time's Iowa kickoff?
Iowa matchup of the weekend gets the night game. They get 5 p.m.
Oh, 5 p.m.
And
I
yeah,
think I did see that.
yeah. So I don't know why they're giving they Iowa plays UMass later this year at night too. I don't know what they're doing with these games
Night
because they're
games against some
like,
barn. Yeah,
and it makes the whole Ohio State can't play at night thing even more funny that they're I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
No,
But anyways,
that's perfect. Now, so I've
yeah.
been chomping at the bit for this one. Iowa. So the spread for that game is 37.5 points.
Yep.
It hasn't been that big pre-game
Yeah.
since 2008.
2008? I didn't know that.
Iowa
Oh my
beat
God.
Maine 46-3. But the opener was, or the spread was larger than that starting the game.
Okay, so we gotta keep playing these Northeast teams, I guess.
Yeah, and we haven't beat. So Illinois State last year we beat 40-0, if you remember. So I think that was the last team. I don't know when the last time before that we even beat a team by more than 37.5. So
Yeah,
our offense is going to be
It's-
really good.
I'm excited to see what they can put out there. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what's interesting about that too is like I think the line for the game is like 50 or something. So they're
Yeah.
expecting Iowa to score
A lot.
50 points, basically. 40 points
No.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah. The other interesting one that is Illinois
Pow wow, the Indian boy loved all the animals and the woods. Pow.
versus Western. It is their and I don't have the line right on me right now. I'm sure it's ever changing, but that is the most lopsided pregame point spread ever seen in Illinois football history.
Them too, huh? Wow.
So these openers are quite, I don't know if it's a factor of maybe, I people don't agree with me, but I think NIL does kill some parity in terms of these teams that are way, the teams that have all the money are going to are blowing out the other teams that don't have any money by a greater margin than they once were.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, it's the same with March Madness. I don't think you're going to see as much parity in college sports just because of NIL. There's no balancing factor there. Not that I don't agree with NIL, it's just, or, factors of it, but,
No,
it's
and
just the parity will go away.
I would partially agree with you there. I think parity has a potential to increase at the highest tier. Like
Sure. Absolutely.
Alabama can't hoard like all the
Absolutely.
5-star O linemen anymore because they want to go play
Parity at the
somewhere else.
lower level.
But
Your
higher
big
to lower
teams.
level is going to get
Yes.
further away. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And I think you're relatively safe if you're in a conference, but if you're not in the conferences, you're cooked.
You're
But
pretty much cooked. Yeah, and you'll see like Signetti at Indiana, like he took his entire team from JMU,
yeah,
like whole roster gone, and now what are they
yeah.
left with? So that'll happen.
And it's interesting. It's like I was telling, as we live in Denver, Colorado, University of Denver, I feel like is on, like, speaking of NILs, on an interesting route right now because they just choose to be good at hockey and lacrosse. And
Yeah.
I think some of these programs are going to have to make tough decisions down the road here when, there's just so much top to bottom parity that they can't, investing in those other sports might be more bang for your buck.
Like you already got momentum in one
I'm not
thing.
saying that the DU model is the way to do it, but
But it's where they're at,
national,
right? Like
yeah,
that's
what you got.
where they've been good, so might as well double down on it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, any other big games of the weekend that you're excited for?
There's some good ones, man. I mean, I Notre Dame, Miami, Catholics versus
Yeah,
convicts.
hell
I
yeah.
mean, I think that's Sunday, I believe. Um, it's in Miami. I'm I don't know. I kind of like Miami with at least a cover or even the upset on this one. Notre Dame kind of showed last year that they faltered early in
Yeah,
the year.
yeah,
Think it could be a weird
yeah. That
environment
was
for them to
probably
start off.
that was the most exciting game of one of the most exciting games of the year last year was NIU beating them.
That was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. So I'm really excited to see what happens in that one. I actually really like this Baylor Auburn game that's going to be
yep,
Friday night. Baylor's like one of the, I mean, the Big 12 is so flat, like everyone is like on the same level pretty much, but Baylor's toward the top in terms of odds to win the conference, and
yep.
Auburn's got a lot to prove too. So I don't know. I'm excited to see that matchup. The Emma Florida State.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, baby. Don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Florida State
That's a
just
good one.
they need to
Yeah.
show signs of life after how bad last season was, and obviously Bama wants to get back into the playoff like they
Yeah.
did so often as we grew up. So
I think, do you feel like, I mean, obviously the Texas versus Ohio State is pretty legendary in terms of a week one game. I know they've been kind of teasing that in the last few years, but do you feel like this is a trend that they're going to keep on hammering?
like having big matchups week one, you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, I think so. I think just to get people fired up for the year, um, I think they're going to do it. There's so many good games, honestly. LSU Clemson
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
is I haven't thought too much about that one, but it's a great
Yeah, I
one to
mean,
start off.
no, that's a great one, and I feel like that one's not even. I mean, I'm sure people are, but that doesn't even feel like it's the talk of the town. I mean, it feels like the
Yeah.
Ohio State Texas game is the one, but I think it's just when you look at those schedules for the TV network, it's like it blows your mind how many games there are. I mean, it's just all day long you could watch college football and be a degenerate. So it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
That's what I love about
gorgeous.
college football, man. It's just endless. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just, and then now we got this weekend and the next week is all hell breaks loose into the NFL. So I'm stoked for it all. Let's dive in though to what we wanted to mention last week, which was I just went with my friend Chad Jippity. Me and him, we built out a list of the win totals for each Big Ten team from top to bottom.
Yep.
So I'll just kind of work by category. So we got Northwestern with 3.5 wins. Their schedule rank is, quote, very tough because they have Penn State and Oregon. So not a lot of life coming out of there. I heard their old head coach might be heading to Iowa. Is that a rumor that you can confirm
There's
or deny?
that rumor's out there, and his son is a walk-on quarterback on the team at Iowa. Pat has been seen hanging around the Iowa facilities lately. And I don't really know if that's just because of his son, but I know him and Kirk have a pretty close relationship at this point. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be an awesome addition to the staff if possible. And I'm glad to see that he got his case got waived basically, right? So
Yeah.
he's not in trouble anymore. Because his O linemen were fooling around with each other or whatever. I don't know what.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff going on over there, but
I didn't
it
read
wasn't
into
his
it,
fault
but
apparently.
yeah, checks out for Northwestern.
Yeah.
All right. Purdue, 3.5 wins. They seem like they're going to be abysmal.
What's waiting for me at home is really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think their schedule. All my friend Chad said was difficult but winnable games. So it doesn't even seem.
I don't know about the last part of that, but
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about that, Chad. All right, and then Maryland in its own tier, 4.5 win total. Their schedule rank is mid tier. Nothing crazy that stands out. My personal favorite, Wisconsin, 5.5 wins. That's great to see.
Pack it in.
Hardest in the conference. They have the hardest schedule. Have you heard about their October schedule?
Yes, I have. I know all about it. They're literally on just a wrecking crew, and actually their game against Iowa, I think you'll look at that this year as one that they have to win. Like I truly think
win.
if Luke Fickell does not win that game, I think he could be gone because I mean they've already made it like their throwback uniform game. They're like putting everything on it because I don't know if they win any of those other games around. I need to pull it back up, but it's
Ohio State, Michigan,
Yeah.
and then Iowa squeaks in there, and then Oregon.
Yep.
And they play Bama September 11th.
Yeah,
9-11 Bama. They have 9-11 Bama. Never
Oh
forget.
my gosh. Never good. Yeah, I think they got the hardest schedule in the country, to be honest with you. So
All right. So that's fun to see. Love that. They had the
Yeah.
same as the same win totals as Rutgers, UCLA, and Michigan State.
Yep.
I don't really know too much about most of those guys. Do you know why Michigan State, they're just not putting anything together over there?
I feel like the Big Ten this year is honestly just like there's not enough wins to go around. I think it's a quality conference, and there's just like somebody's got to lose these games.
Mhm.
And I think Michigan State is going to be better than they were last year. I like their quarterback. I like their coach from the Beavs from Oregon State that came over, but I just don't think they're not going to be as good as the rest of the conference. It's that simple.
No.
Like they're, improved, but not good enough.
So going down the list here, I hate to be in the same category as Nebraska on this, but Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, and USC, all 7.5 wins. Illinois will be interesting. I feel like they have their key games, but they might just have one of those schedules that can help them just have a playoff berth.
New Year.
Exactly.
Like Indiana last year, which is unfortunate to see, but we're here and we will support where support is needed, but
Yeah.
that will only last so long. They don't play Iowa this year either, which is
all coming out here for the Hawkeyes at Memorial Stadium. Iowa blitzing Illinois for 4 touchdowns in the second quarter en route to a 63-0 victory, the largest ever over the Illini.
Another disappointing year.
It's a travesty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska, you could almost take the fact that they're both at 7.5, Iowa and Nebraska, as a compliment to Iowa, though, because Nebraska's got a much easier schedule, to be honest.
Chad Jippity says they have the easier to mid-tier schedule, and same with Illinois. So, and we are ranked at number 3 hardest in the based what Chad said, number 3 hardest in the Big Ten. So
Yeah.
Penn State, Oregon, and USC. Do you see us walking away with a dub on any of those? If there was a dub, where would it come from?
If there's a dub, I think we go 1 out of 3 on those. That's my prediction this year.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I honestly think we get Oregon at home. I think we get Oregon at home. I like that they're coming late in the year. It's gonna be cold. Those guys never been to Kinnick, you
Yep.
know. So I like if we're gonna get an upset, it to be that one. Iowa going out to the West Coast, like until they prove me wrong. I've been out to the Rose Bowl to watch them. I've seen what they did last year at UCLA. Like until I see it, I'm not gonna.
Evan and the Rose Bowl don't mix well together.
No, but the B2 bomber though. I mean, I do that again.
There you go. There you go. You just got to find a bathroom in time.
Yeah.
So
story for a later day.
Yeah. So we got Michigan and Indiana at the 8.5. I think that's a little. I don't know what Michigan's got that Oracle money this year, so I
$10 million QB. Yeah.
I could see them doing a little bit better than what's stated, but I mean, Oklahoma, they have Ohio State, obviously, USC. I don't know. I think 8.5. We can get back to these. Where do you see the opportunity for, who would you maybe bet over and who would you bet under on? But I mean, I that doesn't make sense to me, but I'm no math quant.
That's my quant.
Your what?
My quantitative. My math specialist
studies these lines. So Vegas knows, but yeah, I'm not feeling that one.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could see Michigan getting better like throughout the year just with their quarterback being so young. I don't see them winning at Oklahoma right away.
Yeah.
But I think they'll do okay in the Big Ten. That's probably where.
Especially with that Oklahoma sign behind you. You're not, you got it decked out in there.
I know this is my dad's basement, actually. I'm still in Iowa.
Is this your place? No, I live with my mom.
He's a massive Sooner fan, so we got all that swag back there.
Just keeping the train rolling. Indiana, we'll see if they can prove themselves again. I don't think they'll have as easy of a playoff berth. We have them at home, which will be great. But they have some, Michigan, Oregon. So will be interesting. But then we got the top 3, more like top 2.5. I think Penn State will always choke. Prove me wrong, but I don't really ever see them, doing anything significant. They'll come close. They'll probably make the playoffs, but they'll always just I think it's always a joke to think that they are the top tier, like Ohio State and Oregon this year, and Michigan typically.
I think, what is their line? Is it 10.5 or 11.5?
Yeah, so Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon are all at 10.5.
10.5. Yeah. I actually think Penn State is going to get that. I think they probably slip up once during the year. I just the last 2 years you've had Michigan. They kind of hold everyone back, stockpile. They have all these older, veteran leadership on the team that stay another year.
Yeah.
And then they win a championship. And then Ohio State did the same thing last year. I think that's Penn State's time to do it. To your point, we haven't seen it from them that they can go all the way and that they won't choke at the end of the day. But I think 11 wins will happen for them this year, actually.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. I could see it happening for them for sure. I just don't. Whatever they do with those 11 wins will be insignificant.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Call the shot on that.
That's fair.
And then Ohio State, Oregon. Who do you think takes the higher win total here? I mean, I guess you could, or of the 3, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, who are you, maybe it's tied, but do you see anyone, for example, do you see Oregon dropping to Ohio State and Penn State? Where do you see maybe some slip ups?
I see. I think we're gonna have Ohio State. I got Ohio State actually at 11 wins, and then I
Yeah.
also have Penn State at 11 wins. Is what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
I think we're actually going to see Oregon at like 9 or 10 wins this year.
Gotcha.
So a little
I'm
little bit lower on Oregon. I just think, I mean, they're going to be a really good team. They have a lot of talent, but it's all young, and I think the experience across the Big Ten is going to kind of outlast them in a few scenarios. Like I'm predicting them to lose at Iowa, so that's one right there.
so looking at this, and I think you probably have maybe some key bets that you were thinking about placing on the season, or where do you think some easy
Nice having a little extra cash to bet on college football. Yeah, I'd like to bet $100.
You want to pick a team?
No, just take it.
lines are? After just what we just talked about, Michigan 8.5 wins would be my take. I would say that they're going over that. I'd have to break that down a little bit and see where they're going to pull those away from, but I'm thinking they're I don't know. I just think if you have enough money in the game, you're pulling away with some. And we'll go under for Nebraska. How about that?
Gotcha. Yep, I got you.
Because fuck them, right?
Because fuck them. Yeah, I actually did bet that already.
Yeah,
So,
good. All right, what are your key takes?
I mean, I actually think Indiana as well is going to regress quite a bit. I have them at the under 8.5.
Yeah.
I just think they have such a tough schedule this year. Their road games are pretty tough. Um, I just I don't see them being able to cruise through. I know they kicked ass in the games that they won. So not taking anything away from them from last year, but
Yeah.
I don't see that being a repeatable thing at Indiana University. So
Nope, checks out.
yeah. Um, I actually have some other lines that I like even outside of the Big Ten.
Sure.
Um,
Lay into them.
Tennessee, for example, I have them at under 8.5 as well. I just think I don't think their QB that they in the trade from UCLA is going to pan out. They lost a lot of talent as well, so I went ahead and took that one. And then the only other big one that I see, um, I like Georgia Tech at over 7.5. I think they're they're kind of following that same story of just continuity.
Yeah.
They have a lot coming back, and the ACC schedule isn't anything crazy by any means. Will be interesting to see if they can get past Colorado. They're going to be down in our neck of the woods here this weekend. So
Well, it's going to be a barn burner this weekend. I think we got what we need for today. Anything else you want to throw down besides just a go Hawks?
just yeah, as far as the Go Hawks, just want to shout out my future brother-in-law. He'll be a captain. So not surprising. He was out there at Big Ten Media Days, but pretty cool for him.
Yeah.
Hope to see them kick some butt.
I think we might need to grab them for the podcast so we can get some viewership up.
Yeah, maybe grab him on the bye week and see if he's not doing anything.
Listen, good one just to see what the Hawks got, but the real question is the next weekend. So
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
all right, go Hawks. Fuck Nebraska.
Go Hawks, baby.
Fire away. All right, ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
All right, 2, 3, 4. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna